Content warning. This game contains flashing lights, horror, drugs, and suicide ideation. The game also warns that it may potentially trigger seizures for people with photosensitive epilepsy. OK Normal's true horror is in its monotony, and I mean that in the most positive way possible. The player will find themselves actively aware of how long they've been moving in a certain direction, steering oneself in another direction, and jumping when it's required, or just for another thing to do. But those movements are filled with anxiety. There were several times where I just let go of the W key and kinda just prepared myself for what could be a bit further beyond my view. Not always for how scary it could be, but that it could send me all the way back to the beginning of a section. The game attempts to emulate the low poly style of PS1 era games, and it does it quite well. It fit in with its low poly models and repeated textures, but it's also reminiscent of the Vaporwave aesthetic, through its use of a statue as a player character, glitch art, and an assortment of basic 3D shapes. OK Normal adds an uncanny quality to its retro charm. It looks and feels like a PS1 game, but there's something off. At first it's just little things, but then slowly the experience decays into something sinister. OK Normal starts out with a straightforward objective: collect a certain amount of objects, which include pills, food, and water, then make it to the warp to the next level. The mundanity sets in quickly, where you start to feel you're going through the motions. The game then shifts into glitch horror, with unnerving beings to impede your collection efforts, or long, drawn-out searches for items. And both of these options are equally terrifying. Some sections settle in for far too long, increasing the player's uncomfortableness. Some of these places are labyrinthian mazes filled with dead ends or loops back to where you were earlier. Finding your way through them will bring doubts like, should I go there? Or, have I already been here? There were times that I walked in a straight line for so long I wondered if there was actually an endpoint, only eventually situating myself in a location through the rare landmarks sprinkled throughout. It results in frustration from the player, feeling that the game is messing with them, and well, that's because it is. OK Normal makes you feel insignificant, with little concern to your enjoyment, where the repeated levels and aimless wandering are just as scary as the monsters you encounter. It's a bold choice, one that could alienate some players, but it makes for a more frustrating type of horror. At this point, the Vaporwave connections become clearer. For a general description, Vaporwave as a genre relies heavily on nostalgia for particular types of music and media aesthetics, then manipulating them usually through slowing them down and repeating sections ad nauseum. And OK Normal adapts this to PS1 games. The focus on movement and aesthetics, the lengthy repeated levels, the increasingly corrupted visuals, all for a game that uses Vaporwave sensibilities to distort nostalgia for a horrific effect. The game wants you to feel out of your element, that you're truly in situations out of your control, to fear what's around you, and to fear what could be just ahead. With such an interesting disregard for the player, OK Normal makes for a sluggish horror experience. If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting me on Patreon or Ko-fi. Patreon is if you want to support me monthly, and Ko-fi is for one-time support. These videos wouldn't be possible without the generous support of my patrons and Ko-fis. Any amount helps this channel keep going. Anyways, here's my Twitter, my Instagram, my channel link if you want to subscribe, and some other videos I've made. Well, that's all I had to say, so thanks again for watching, and I'll see you around.